New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi Fruit Loop. What you know?
This is for all the baseball fans. Did you know that a baseball has a lifespan? And it is around 7 pitches.
Really?
Do you know how many baseball? I mean, I'm going to Google that one. I used to know that, but yeah, how many baseballs it takes. It's an enormous amount of baseballs in a game. It's crazy. But yeah, so one baseball lasts about 7 pitches. That's it.
Hang on. I got Cujo at the front door barking at probably a bird. Give me just a second.
So I'll Google that one and then let you know from the get-go. I'll let you know tomorrow how many balls they go through or before the podcast is over. So while she's doing that, we want to give a shout out to one of our awesome sponsors, Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. Check them out. You can go to, if you see the link here, www.toocooltshirtquilts.com/Pretty Lies and Alibis. And they can take your T-shirts and make them into a quilt that is too cool.
Okay, sorry. It was a big, scary chihuahua right in my yard. Big,
okay.
120-pound dog had a meltdown. Okay, so I have to tell you a really funny story. I was over at my grandma's yesterday. My Grammy's doing some stuff around the house for her, like cleaning off her porches and like scrubbing them and getting them all nice and clean for summer. And I told her I was leaving, right? So I forgot to ask her one thing. So I go in and she's got this tiny little laundry room. Like you could probably put both your arms out and you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So she's bent over getting the cat food. She has a stray cat that she loves and hates, but feeds it 3 times a day. So I didn't want to scare her by talking because she was bent over and, you know, she thought I was gone. So she stands up and turns around and I'm right there. And I can only imagine what an 87-year-old ninja would do in this situation. But she like lifted her leg off the ground like 3 inches and did her arms like that. And she screamed and then I screamed and then we laughed for like 5 solid minutes. But I'm telling you, man, Grammy went full on 87-year-old ninja mode. It was awesome.
Go Grammy.
We needed a laugh. But anyway, so have you had a good weekend?
I have. I've been kind of slow, taking it easy.
Because
I'll tell you, like going into this surgery, they told me like it's extensive, it's a slow process. Like I can put weight on my foot, walk 1 room without my boot. So I really kind of jazz around with the little knee scooter because that boot's so heavy and it's awkward.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like walk along. I just walk 1 room and then scoot around a little bit. So, but it's weird feeling. So, you know, like they cut the ligament in my big toe.
Oh.
So that causes my balance. Your big toe is like big for balance.
Oh, huge. Yeah.
So they took some of that ligament. So I can't bend my toe that far. So it's kind of a work in progress.
So if I were to come and like kick you in the neck, you could not chase me.
No, I ain't chasing nobody.
Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing we ain't been able to be in the same room much because you know I would have messed with you nonstop.
Yeah.
So anyways, we wanted to hop on tonight and do this story. A lot of our listeners are already saying, are you guys going to cover this? And I'm intrigued. It's the Kaitlin Armstrong wanted for murder story, right? So just a little backstory. Kaitlin Armstrong has been dating this pro cyclist named Colin. Hang on, we're learning some new stuff, guys.
Strickland.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to take that off like we had
my
talked, but my brain went, haywire. So this is Kaitlin Strickland. She is currently wanted for murder in the shooting death of this girl's nickname is Mo Wilson. All right. So apparently Mo and Caitlin's boyfriend, Colin Strickland, had a very short little fling in January after the two of them had a little rough patch, right? So Colin and Kaitlin live in Austin, Texas, and Colin and Mo, the other girl that was murdered, they're professional cyclists, and Kaitlin is not. She's kind of a leisure cyclist, but they had kind of hooked up in January. It was really brief, only for a week or so, and he got back together apparently with Kaitlin and whatever. So just some things happened last week, and now Mo is dead and Kaitlin is on the run. So we're going to go through this whole story and tell you guys what we know as of 3 minutes ago when I checked to make sure there were no updates. So pro cyclist Mo Wilson was found shot to death at a house she was staying at with a friend before a bike race on May 11th in Austin, Texas.
And the bike community is so large.
It is.
Like a lot of people race in all the bigger, you know what I mean? So they're it's a tight-knit group.
And they all know each other and they're all super supportive, it seems, of each other. It's, I used to bike a little bit, but after 40, things don't heal as fast when you fall down and go boom. So I'm hanging up anything that involves me being on something moving. Speaking of moving, Fruit Loop, if you hear somebody like on the interstate on a horse, it's me. Because I'm going to tell you, $78 to fill my Jeep up. I'm going to buy a horse. We're going to Old Town Road.
Hey, you better use them Ingalls points.
I forgot. I need to look into that really, because Granny's probably got like $1 million.
She probably, because she don't use it.
And I go to Ingalls 3 days a week for her.
Well,
so
you can get like 40 cents off a gallon.
Heck yeah. I'm glad you reminded me. So anyways, Mo had a romantic relationship with Caitlin's boyfriend, Colin, briefly for like a week in October of last year while he was broken up with Kaitlin. The two had remained friends afterwards. And Colin, we said, is a pro cyclist. He's actually sponsored by Red Bull.
That's a big one.
Excuse me. So Kaitlin and Colin had been dating for 3 years, and she learned of this fling back in January. So let's go back to May 11th. Colin and Mo met up on May 11th and went swimming at a public pool, then out to eat afterwards, and he dropped her off. He was on his motorcycle. Now, he had told Kaitlin he lied and said he was going out to deliver flowers and that his phone battery died, and that's why he couldn't talk to her.
Whoa.
So 1 minute after he dropped Mo off, surveillance shows Caitlin's black Jeep Grand Cherokee passing by the house where Mo was staying with a friend named Caitlin Cash. And since her name is Kaitlin, we're going to call her Cash. We don't want to get too confused. So police suspect that Mo was using an app called Strava. And what that is a cycling app used to share and document bike rides. And it showed her location. Apparently, she was able to track her through this app to find out where she was. And
that's scary.
That is super stalkish, scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they say that could have led Armstrong to her location as the route was public. It's since been deleted. So here's the timeline of the events leading up to Mo's murder. Cash, which is the girl she's staying with, she gets a text from Mo saying that she's going to meet a friend named Colin to go swimming. Cash went home to talk to her about meeting up with this guy. And then at 5:30 p.m., Cash leaves her home to meet up with her friends for dinner. And as she's leaving, she sees Mo's bike bag outside on this elevated porch that they have. So she goes back inside and tells Mo, you might want to put it inside so nobody steals it. And just a note, after the murder, the bike is found in a bamboo thicket just across the street. So at 5:55 p.m., Cash gets an alert on her phone that the door was locked with a temporary code that she had created and given Mo while she was staying there. So this is the time at 5:55 when she goes to leaves the residence to meet Colin.
So at 8:16, Colin and Mo are seen on video leaving the Pool Burger restaurant on the motorcycle. Caitlin's car is seen driving on Maple Avenue, and this is the street the murder took place on. And then East 18th Street, which is only about 3 blocks from the home Mo was found dead in. And if you Google map it, she was likely just circling the area.
Mm-hmm.
At 8:36 p.m., the door is unlocked with a unique code indicating this is when Mo returned home. Colin had dropped her off on his motorcycle. At the same time, Colin texts Kaitlin, "Hey, are you out? I went to drop some flowers for Allison at her son's house up north and my phone died. Heading home unless you have another food suggestion." And then Colin admitted to investigators that he lied to Kaitlin about where he was so he could see Mo. At 8:37, a dark-colored 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee is seen driving past the residence. The SUV slowed down and came to a stop outside the home. There's a large bicycle rack on the car, luggage rack on the roof, and chrome outlined windows. Colin confirms to investigators that Kaitlin owns the Jeep Grand Cherokee. At 8:48, Colin is pinged 8 miles from where Mo was murdered. He arrives home and begins working on his bike to prepare for the upcoming race. And at 9:21, Colin texts Kaitlin again, and she arrives home shortly after driving the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, so not quite an hour later, within that hour time frame, she murders Mo allegedly and does whatever and goes home. So at 9:54 p.m., this is when Cash, the roommate for the weekend, arrives home and finds Mo in the bathroom, shot several times and covered in blood. At 9:56 p.m., Cash calls 911, and when first responders arrive, she is trying to perform CPR on Mo. And Cash tells authorities that Colin was who Mo was meeting, and they find his address by looking up his driver's license info. So the next day on May 12th, they go to the residence and they see that black Jeep Grand Cherokee parked in the driveway. And Colin voluntarily went to the Austin headquarters to give a formal police interview. And he told them that he lives with his girlfriend, Kaitlin, and they have been dating for about 3 years. And they had a 2-week breakup back in October of last year. And he admitted that he met Mo during that time and had a very brief romantic relationship with her. But ultimately, he got back with Kaitlin. So during the fleeing, Kaitlin calls Mo to tell. This is when you get the fatal attraction stuff. Kaitlin calls Mo to tell her she was the one dating Colin. And Colin said he had to change Mo's name in his phone because Kaitlin had blocked Mo's number under her name in his phone. And he also admitted
they red flags all over this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so for me, if you're having to hide who you're talking to, either you need to get out of your situation you're in or tell the other girl, like, I'm with somebody. He's playing the fence. Now, look, there's something to be said for the fact that these two went to a public pool and to a restaurant. So to me, maybe they had a week-long fling, but maybe they found out they're friends, and I know some women do not like that or whatever, but that's up to them. But I'm just saying murder, that is just the purest form of jealousy right here. It wouldn't be justifiable. It would be a little different if she had caught him at the Motel 6.
Yeah. And again, I mean, they're dating, and I know cheating is not good and it's bad, but it doesn't give anybody an excuse to kill anybody.
Right. Yeah. So he also admits that he deleted text messages between him and Mo to hide the communication from Kaitlin. So the day of the murder, he admits that he picked Mo up on his motorcycle and they went to a pool called Deep Eddy in Austin and then to a restaurant called Pool Burger. After they ate, he drove her home. He didn't see Kaitlin there, and the garage door to the town or to the she actually lived in like an apartment above a garage that she was renting out from somebody who used that garage for their own personal reasons. He then sent the text to Kaitlin seemingly as soon as Mo got off that bike. And during the interview, Colin had high praise for Mo, saying she was the best female cyclist in the country and possibly in the world, and that he was just helping her get new sponsors, which really kind of seems valid if they're going to public places,
Sure. And here's the thing. Obviously, she didn't live there.
Right. It's
right?
not
Because
like
I mean,
it's
she was
easy.
staying with somebody, so yeah.
But then you look at Lori and Chad, and I mean, they hooked up and went under the ruse of going to these meetings and stuff, but that's a whole other can of worms.
Exactly. So he said Kaitlin was only a participant in the cycling world while he is a racer. Colin said he had told Kaitlin in the past she didn't need to ride with him because she held him back. Dude, I'd be holding him back. I'd be in the back of the line.
I'd have been sucking wind.
Hey, it's like those marathons I worked before. You got them stragglers come in, extra 4 hours late. That'd have been me.
Yeah.
He said Kaitlin feels he is grumpy due to having to wait on her while he's training at a professional level, and she is riding along. Colin told authorities that he purchased 2 9mm guns for himself and Kaitlin back in December and January. Her model was a Sig Sauer. Investigators executed a search warrant at the residence and found the 9mm firearm. On May 17th, the gun was fired for testing purposes, and it was revealed the casings found next to Mo's body. It looks to be the same gun that fired the shots that killed Mo. It was discovered by authorities that Kaitlin had an arrest warrant for a Class B warrant out of Austin for theft of service.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Oh, I lost my place. Oh, there it is. They located and apprehended her, but while she was in custody, the investigator said the warrant wasn't valid, and Kaitlin was told she could leave.
Can I just say you totally nailed that, where I dropped the ball on the notes and I was just sitting here waiting for it.
No.
You did good.
They asked her if she heard what had happened in the last 24 hours, and she nodded yes, that Colin told her a woman in the cycling community had passed away. Investigators say she was very still and didn't move as she spoke. She stayed still when investigators said they knew Colin had been talking to Mo and that her name had come up in the investigation. They showed her the video of her car by the residence, and she offered no explanation but didn't deny any statements the investigators were making. Dude, right there, you got me. If you trying to say I done something, I'll be like,
I know, right?
I was down on Fifth Street eating some pizza.
Right. But the thing about this murder is it's not a crime of passion. She planned it. She stalked that residence. And so I think that, right now she's being charged with first-degree murder. There's a big difference.
Here's my question. How did she get in? We know it had a code to get. You had to have a code to get in the door. Did she go up and knock and, she just opened the door thinking it was somebody else?
That's a good question. Either that or she didn't lock the door behind her. But,
yeah.
It's crazy sauce, man.
Yeah. So Detective Connor told Kaitlin Colin went out with Mo and that she was upset about that. Kaitlin turned her head and rolled her eyes in what they call an angry manner and said, "I'm certain as to even what you mean or what he said, because I didn't have any idea he saw or even went out with this girl as of recently." Detective Connor, speaking of her car being in the area, said, "Maybe you were just upset and in the area."
Yeah, so Detective Connor says her vehicle being seen in the area, coupled with statements made to them by Colin, obviously made things not look so good for her. And Kaitlin nodded her head in agreement. She didn't deny she was in the area, but didn't offer any explanation either. Kaitlin was described by the investigators as being very guarded when she spoke to them, and she asked to leave, and the interview ended. Now, here's my thing. Okay. So clearly they have some nothing definite at this point. They're waiting on these ballistics, I'm sure, to test fire and get that back to where they can put her there. This reminds me of Brown Laundrie. Why do you just let her leave? Now, he didn't go into the police station. Why did they not have eyes on her from the time she left there if they knew an arrest was probably going to be soon once they got some solid forensic evidence? I mean, I'm wondering, is this going to be another Brown Laundrie?
Yeah. Here's my thing, too. I mean, you can, and we know this happens, if you think you possibly got a suspect, but you don't have anything to hold them, but you had possibly a warrant, there could have been a delay in paperwork getting her processed out or something. I mean, she wasn't arrested, so, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I see what you're saying. I pulled up that record for her, and it was back in 2017, 2018 when that warrant was issued. So it's older. I don't know. It was a misdemeanor. It wasn't anything major, just a really small charge. So I don't know if who knows why, but even in letting her go, if you've got somebody did it, you just got to convince a judge, here's the forensic proof that proves she did it, enough for an arrest warrant. You just let her go?
Yeah.
So on May 13th, Detective Spitter, which May 13th, by the way, is the last time anybody has seen her. So after she leaves there, nobody's seen her since. The gun, as we know, was test fired. So they have that. On May 13th, Detective Spitter contacted a friend of Mo's whose name was put under the pseudonym Jane to prevent her from being targeted by Kaitlin. She told authorities that Colin and Mo have had multiple romantic relationships and described them as on again, off again. The first time was after they met when Mo came to Austin in the fall of 2021, I guess around the time they were broken up. But Mo's family released a statement today saying, while we will not elaborate about the ongoing investigation, we do feel it's important to clarify that at the time of her death, those closest to her clearly understood directly from Moriah that she was not in a romantic relationship with anyone. But you might not be telling your family, I'm not victim shaming, but you might not be telling your family that you're having an on again, off again with somebody who's in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And I understand maybe she wasn't. Maybe this was a friend thing.
Yeah, it could have been he was just friends with her and helping her and whatever else. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Jane, the pseudonym Jane, said Kaitlin found Mo's phone number and called her several times in the past, which led to Mo blocking Caitlin's number. So, in the past 2 months before the murders, Kaitlin followed Mo's Instagram account, and the last call Kaitlin made to Mo, she told her that she was with Colin and stay away from him. So on May 14th, an anonymous caller contacted Austin PD to say she was with Kaitlin in January, back when she learned about this little fling between Mo and Colin. And she says the two were still dating when it happened.
No. She said Kaitlin became furious and started shaking and said she would kill Mo. Kaitlin told the informant that she had just recently purchased a firearm and was going to. A search of Mo's phone showed a text between her and Colin. Mo had seen Colin and Kaitlin at an event in January, and she texted Colin as a result. Hey, so I would like to talk to you at some point. I had originally texted you on Friday, but it appears my texts aren't going through again. This weekend was strange for me, and I just want to know what's going on. If you just want to be friends, and it seems to be the case, then that's cool, but I would like to talk about it because honestly, my mind has been going in circles and I don't know what to think. Colin replied the next day, hey Mo, I feel very crappy for putting you in a position where you don't feel comfortable. Kaitlin came along to go to a meeting about the Sprinter Spartan Hotel project. In hindsight, this was not a good idea.
No kidding, Colin. Here's the thing. She flat out said she needed to talk, and this dude is skirting the issue and not saying, hey, yeah, I was with my girlfriend and maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah. So on May 15th, detectives, is it Spittler?
Yeah.
Okay. Was canvassing the area of the murder for surveillance and was approached by the property owner for the home Mo was killed in. That's where Cash rents the apartment above his garage. He said on the night of the murder between 8:30 to 9:30, he walked into his garage, partially raised the garage door. After doing that, he heard someone running down the stairs that leads to the door of the apartment. He saw a bike travel southbound through the alleyway from Cash's apartment. And remember, her bike was found in the bamboo thicket 60 or so, yards from the residence?
Feet. Sorry, I left that out.
Sorry, feet.
Look,
Yards, feet.
I'm making you do math on a Sunday.
Oh, no. So Kaitlin has deleted her social media accounts and has not seen or been heard of since May 13th, like we said earlier. FBI and U.S. Marshals, right?
Yeah, everybody's looking for her.
They looking.
So Colin released a statement, and it said, "I'm reeling from grieving Mo Wilson's death and from the facts that have emerged during the investigation. I cannot begin to imagine the pain felt by Mo's family and her close friends. There is no way to adequately express the regret and torture I feel about my proximity to this horrible crime. I am sorry and simply cannot make sense of this unfathomable whatever tragedy." I need more coffee. "Although it will be a matter of small consolation to anyone else who cared for Mo, I want you to know that I've cooperated fully with investigators ever since I learned the terrible news, and I will continue to do so until some form of justice is served. As a point of clarification to facts previously reported, Moriah Wilson and I had a brief romantic relationship from late October to early November that spanned a week or so, and while Wilson was visiting Austin. At the time, she and I had both recently ended relationships. She returned to her home in California, and about a month later, Kaitlin Armstrong and I reconciled and resumed our relationship. Since then, I often saw Mo at cycling events and always in public settings. We both competed in Bentonville, Arkansas, Stillwater, and Monterey, California. We also met for a 4-hour training ride in Santa Cruz after the See Other Classic in Monterey. After our brief relationship in October of 2021, we were not in a romantic relationship, only a platonic and professional one. It was not my intention to pursue along an auxiliary romantic relationship that would mislead anyone. Moriah and I were both leaders in this lonely sport of cycling, and I admired her greatly and considered her a close friend. I'm deeply grieving her loss." And I do, that makes sense. So maybe they had a week-long thing, but then, it doesn't always have to be that way. So things ended, and maybe they were just friends. I'm not not saying that anybody did anything wrong here except for Kaitlin.
Yeah.
It must be hard. I guess it depends on your openness in your relationship. Do you let, people have friends of the opposite sex or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, some guys are okay with it. I dated a guy that was not okay with it, and that was the source of many conversations between me and you. But, it's, but it does sound like, look, like I said, they were in a public place. That really lowers my radar of suspicious things happening. Maybe he truly was just helping her.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Here's another person, and I don't know. This girl could have been in and out of jail. Honestly, I don't know because we don't know much about her background. But walk away.
Right. Yeah.
You don't go and take somebody's life. Like, walk away.
And here's the thing. If she felt like she had been done wrong, she's taking it out on the wrong person. That girl has not been with you for 3 years. It's your boyfriend. That's where you got to have self-respect. If you feel that jealous, if he's made you feel that jealous, although some women create this stuff in their head and then it becomes this much bigger thing than it really is. And then they act on that. I think that's probably what happened here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So her family issued a statement. Mo's family issued a statement saying, "We are absolutely devastated by the loss of our beautiful daughter and sister and Moriah Wilson. There are no words that can express the pain and suffering we are experiencing due to this senseless, tragic loss. Moriah was talented, kind, and caring, and a caring young woman. Her life was taken from her before she had the opportunity to achieve everything she dreamed of. Our family and all those who love her will forever miss her." And they've started a GoFundMe page with the goal of raising $100,000 to help fund community organizations that help youth find self-confidence, strength, and joy through biking, skiing, and other activities that Moriah was passionate about. And she was actually a competitive skier. And she did so at Dartmouth College and also played soccer. She got a degree in engineering. And so the U.S. Marshals asked for the public, especially in that Texas area around Austin, to be on the lookout for the black Jeep Grand Cherokee with the license plate LDZ 5608. Just another senseless, if I can't have you or you're messing with my dude, I'm going to take your life.
Yep.
I don't know any man that's worth taking another human life over or spending the rest of your life in the pokey.
Yeah. So here we go again with somebody doing something
girl.
stupid.
Look, you and I have talked to people about how we can further this podcast from people who have done it. And I hate to think somebody, could be jealous and come take one of us out because maybe they were helping us. You know what I'm saying? That really is my gut feeling is that he was, so maybe they had a weak fling and then they found out, hey, you're pretty cool. I like you in a platonic way. Sad, sad, sad. I'm all over this one though. I got an alert set up. Hopefully they find her. I just don't know. It's been almost 10 days. It's been 9 days since she disappeared. Where's she at?
Dude, I always want to be the one to see something and be like, oh, that's that car.
I know. And then you're going to be on the news. I saw it and I called it in. Where's my reward money?
Exactly. Give me that reward.
So, it's only a matter of time if she is out there still running. Although with Brian Laundrie, I just get this knee-jerk reaction of, where is the girl after 9 days? We haven't heard anything that I found from her family, from Caitlin's family. Nobody's really, I did look at some Facebook pages. I mean, looks can be deceiving in the true crime world, but look like a very all-American middle to upper class family who seemingly had it all together. No red flags there, but man, jealousy is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Exactly.
And they do, but it just, in the end, you kill yourself because it consumes you. And now you're going to have how many lives affected?
Yep.
Yeah. It's the one thing in all of our cases, we say it's not just the victims' families, it's friends, it's acquaintances, it's so many people for what? Because they went to a pool and got a burger. Lord have mercy. All right. Well, that's all for today. We just wanted to get this background episode in case something happens tomorrow or sometime this week. And we're going to do some more text message episodes, right? This week, we're going to do a couple of those. We're going to jump back in.
Bring it on. Here we go.
It's been a hot minute, and I don't like doing it by myself.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're talking to yourself.
Right, yeah. So we're going to do a couple of those. We really need to finish these up. So that's coming this week unless something crazy happens. You guys have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.